Hi guys, welcome to Windsome Cottage Garden. My name is Hannah and I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. We are in the home garden working on the sunbed that we started in the last couple videos. Where we left off, we had finished clearing the space out, defining the line and digging it out, and we're working with a blank space. I've actually done a lot of plant layout. I'd done that previously and then had to move it all to get the blank space done. So I've started already laying stuff out. So I'm going to insert here what I've already done, and then I'm going to give you a look at what it's looking like right now and what some of my thinking is as I am contemplating where things go. Okay, I am in Zone 6B, West Michigan, and we have quite a variety of plants. I don't know if I mentioned in this video, but I know I've mentioned previously that a good chunk of these plants have actually come from my old house. I moved about a year ago, and I divided a lot of plants, dug some plants, and they've been living in a plant hoard. I still have many things, as you can see, and it's time for them to get in the ground before it gets too cold to do that. You will note that you might not have been able to tell, but at the end of last night, I came back with some more plants. There's a large greenhouse near us who has their super sale going on, and we got a couple of things that I knew I needed, some anchors for this area, and a couple small bits and bobs too. So let me show you what I'm working with, and then I will finish laying stuff out. This is just getting into the sun, so it might be a little hard to see things, and I'm gonna lay it out and then leave it until this is in shade, and then we'll start planting. So this is the backside of my house, and it's a southern facing wall that just kind of bakes. It's the best sun spot I have in the yard, and we did this nice deep bed that is just going to swing around here. I did pick up an Althea standard that is going to go between those two windows as like a nice anchor point, and a couple other small things here and there. The structure of my house is a little interesting. It's kind of like a ranch with a tri-level on the side. So this is a bedroom and this is a bedroom. So there's like two layers there. But then we have our basement windows and our main floor windows. These, we moved some plants that used to be in front of them that were blocking large chunks of the windows. We do not want to block them anymore. So what I've been balancing is planting smaller things, kind of to create a flower window well, if you will, so that it still is going to get all the light and see beautiful things, but then we can also appreciate the smaller things as we go along, which has made like this area in particular kind of difficult because I want it to be lowish so I can still see some of the things that are back there. And we'll get into varieties in a different video, but we've got things like a small pugster blue butterfly bush that only gets about 2 foot tall. I've got some sedum, I've got some other small bits and bobs, and then taller things a little more central in the bed. Usually with a bed, you'll put the tallest things at the back, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to block the sunlight from these windows. So you can see I've kind of been laying things out, playing with some different textures and leaf colors. This is actually a more purpley leaf color. It is not fully showing right now because it's been in the shade most of the season. But if we go along, you can see that I got smaller things at the front taller middling things around windows. This even is going to go like this, or it's very see-through-y, like this iris texture. And just kind of going along. I am going to be putting a path in here. You can kind of see where naturally the path goes. So it'll probably be some stuff, and eventually this will become a garden bed as well. But I've got some time. I'll probably still put cutting flowers here for a little bit. There's some really pretty seed dahlias. This is spending a little bit, but look, some really dainty little things. There's one that was new. Oh, I think it's already spent. But I thought that was really pretty. I probably only have about 30-ish minutes before this gets very, very hot. So I thought I would spend it hopefully finishing laying out the plants, and I'm going to leave it until it's in the shade. And I will come back and start getting things in the ground. Once again, it is a new day. The camera died at some point last night and we ran out of light, so I'm not sure what you last saw, but let me give you a lay of the land before we dive in and hopefully get the rest of these plants planted and as much of this area mulched as we can. I have from here all the way up to about that window planted, so a pretty decent chunk. There's still a ways to go, but I think I'm about 40% of the way there. I do need to come in with some cardboard right here, and I discovered more fabric. There's the edge of it right here. So I've decided here's where we are stopping, and this will be a project for another weekend. I'm not sure if you've already seen the video where we moved some of the plants from here into the front, but I talked a little bit more about why fabric in areas is bad, and I am paying the price for previous occupants putting it in probably about 15 years ago, and it is just rough. Don't put fabric down unless it's under stone. Just don't. Does not help, especially if you don't maintain it. Anyway, that's where we are right now. It's coming together so nicely, and I'm really hopeful that we can get a ton of this done before the sun hits it. Let's dive in and see how far we get. Editing Hannah here, explaining my method a little bit more for those of you who might be wanting to try this. Now, I have done videos about cardboard mulching before. I love it. It's really effective if you have a large bed area that you are looking to turn into a garden border and don't want to remove all the sod. As you saw in a previous video, what I do when I'm doing this is I will define the edge of the bed and use a spade to cut it out quite deeply so that that grass root is completely cut. Then I will take cardboard and plaster it all over the area overlapping it a little bit here and there. Now, what I did differently here than I've done in other places that was such a game changer is I did the cardboard first. Previously, I have planted the plants and then cardboarded around it, which took a lot of time to piecemeal everything together. By doing this, i.e. putting the cardboard down, what I would do is get a box cutter, cut an X in the area where I wanted the plant, peel it back, use my auger to dig directly into the soil and the grass, which saved a lot of time, and then planted the plant, placed the cardboard back around it, cutting off what I needed to for the root ball, and eventually I came through and will mulch around it. Now, you might have noticed, and I don't think I've said it in this video, that I have had some back problems this summer, so I had a back brace on while I was doing this, and the up and down movement is a little bit tricky for me, so I would basically do all of this 10 plants at a time. I.e., I'd go through and I'd do the X 10 plants at a time. The next, after I'd done the X, I'd do the auger, then I would, get down on my hands and knees and plant them, popping the cardboard back down together so that I could kind of batch everything together. Now, I won't do the mulching till right at the end, and I will admit my dad was such a big help with this massive project, which spanned days, and he did a ton of the mulching as well. Now, all that being said, I did run out of cardboard that had been pre-done, meaning all the labels and tape and many bits of metal had been taken off. That, unfortunately, I ran out of cardboard that had been done to, so I had to take a spade, cut out around the plants. I now have more cardboard that I've gathered up from friends and family, and I'm going to prep it and finish this project. The other thing you probably just saw me do is I had a couple of different spots where I have some sedum, I believe they're autumn joy sedum, that the previous owners had planted in quite a bit of shade that I wanted to transplant into this border because they're going to be doing so much better with more sun. And I wanted that to be a common element amongst this border. But it made life so much easier doing this rather than piecemealing the cardboard together. The other thing that I will say about this, though, is we had some rain along the way, and so once the cardboard got wet, it was a lot harder to cut, and you had to make sure to do the X's big enough that the auger wasn't going to grab the cardboard. But in general, I absolutely loved this method and would highly recommend, if you are doing something like this, following along with this type of plan, doing the cardboard first before planting the plants. Okay, everything is planted. We are still in a pretty warm day, but it's been very bandy weather-wise. Like there might be a thunderstorm between 2 and 3. I'm not thinking so because it's almost 2 right now. I mean, I would welcome cloud cover, and I think cloud cover is coming, but everything is planted that we are going to be planting in this swoop. I did end up taking 3 plants that I'd popped over there, which will still go there eventually. I just decided not to mess with roots right now. And there's actually some things, because these are here right this year, but they're not going to be here all the time. So for some of the continuity, there's some plants back there. And it's just going to look so good. Even though this is like where the sun is right now, it's not too bad when the breeze is up and the sun's behind the clouds. So my dad and I are going to power through and keep mulching. I have a little bit of cardboard left, so I'm going to get that down. And then I'm going to assist in mulching until the mulch runs out. We'll see how far it goes. it is a new day. And this turned out so well. Once again, I think the camera died, so I don't think you got to see like the very end. But it came together so well. Look at it. I think it looks like it's always been supposed to be there. I mean, I still have, I think I said in an update that I was gonna deal with this another day because I also need to figure out some irrigation. I've got this kind of giving water to it as needed, and we've been getting a lot of rain. So things are looking great. I also need to come in with cardboard. That's going to be a job for this weekend. And then I'm going to see how far my cardboard stretches. I do want to show you. I think I attempted to show you either in this video or the other video. We got all the bumbles sleeping, but look how sweet this is. This is going to be the next section I finish. So it's like one fell swoop, and then I'm going to come in. It'll be soon. I don't know if it'll be next, but I am going to come in and extend that and tie that in. So this is easy to cut. I actually need to cut my grass desperately. There's a lot of things I need to really do because last weekend I just focused on this project because it took so much time to do. This weekend is supposed to be a little bit cooler. It's going to be nice. The weather's becoming a lot more fall-y. So I'm going to do some of those things. And I'm also going this weekend to film a video that you're probably going to be seeing next Saturday. So you'll see this on a Saturday next week. Tune back in, and I will go in more depth with some of these plant varieties because I thought about including it in this video, but there's 64 plants in this bed. And I want to go a little bit more plant by plant, tell you about them, some of the reasons why I placed them, why I did, and balancing different things. And I don't think I can put that in this video. So that's going to be a separate video, our final video on the sunbed as it is now. And then along the way, I'm sure we will also, I might see if I'll probably try and finish this area with mulch before then. So that might be a separate video because I want to do that, which is just mulching. I have to harvest all my potatoes. I have a lot of tomato pruning to do. And then there's also assessing what is left in the plant hoard. I picked up a couple things. I think I mentioned earlier that you may have noticed that my plants multiplied because I got this like Althea standard. I picked up a couple little quickfire hydrangeas, which are one of my favorites, and I got 2 of them. So I want to get that planted, have some other big things planted. There's still a lot more coming up. Oh, I'm gonna hop inside and show you from the basement what it looks like looking out because it looks so good. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. So I'm gonna go hop in and do that. Okay, so I'm gonna try not to show you how messy this is because I have lots of art here that I need to put into a gallery wall. But I wanted to kind of pop in and show the basement windows and how beautiful it is because one of the things I talked about was needing to consider it from both sides because of these windows. And look how cute this is. And even when things grow like this, hibiscus is going to get a little bit bigger and definitely wider. I think there's still going to be such beautiful layers here that I just love. Even when you're looking at it from this angle, here's that hosta that I kind of don't know how it's going to go. So that looks great. This one, and ignore my quilting paraphernalia, is also looking cute. And I absolutely love this cute little butterfly bush. I'm hoping it does okay with the heat off the building. I tried to put things close to the building that could handle the heat. And there's a little baby lupin right here. It's just going to be so pretty to watch this in the years to come. Popping back outside, I wanted to give you an aerial view. The corner of the deck around. I think it's going to look so good. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. And it seems like there's a lot of space, and I did leave space to fill things in, but it's going to be shocking how much this fills in the next little while. Anyway, thank you for following all these journeys. This video was the technically third, more like 2.5 in the series. So the final one's coming up. I will link this series below. Maybe I'll make it its own playlist so we can watch it as it develops, because I'm sure it's a bit that we're going to be spending a lot of time in the upcoming years. I still have a lot more to go, as I mentioned. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Make sure to like this video and hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate you joining me, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.